Hey guys, Zach with Joker's Trains, and it's that time of year again for another Lionel catalog. Now, this one, a lot of people don't know what's going on with this catalog. We got new owners at Lionel and things like that. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into this catalog, see what's going on. I know some of you guys may have looked at it already, but some of you haven't. Some of you are waiting on me to take the first trip through the catalog. That's perfectly fine too. So here we got the cover of it. Obviously, you see a Reading in Northern 1776. Typically that's going to be in there. You got the 250 stuff on the bottom there. So let's go. We return with the second annual Lionel Lenny Awards. Don't forget, vote for your boy for, I don't know what category, but just put me in, boys. Let's get me a Lenny. Here we go, boys. To start with actual offerings, we have new Lionel 250 stuff. Like I said, we got on the cover, we got the Reading and Northern SD40-2, Wheeling Lake Erie. Those are both fantastic paint schemes. And we got the Canadian stuff. I find it real funny the Canadians are doing some American stuff, but I guess they run down into America or whatever, however that works. Now, if you'll notice here, the price on these SD40-2s is a little bit higher than most people are going to want to see. They're about $750 and $450 for the non-power. I think $450 for the non-power is absolutely ridiculous. Just my opinion, it's just a glorified boxcar at that point, and then they have the matching caboose. So I know there's a lot of Reading and Northern fans out there, especially for this engine, as well as the Wheeling and Lake Erie. I think there's another manufacturer doing the Wheeling and Lake Erie. I think it's Atlas, if I recall, but really cool paint schemes. Like I've said before, I'm just not real big on the 250 stuff. It's not that I'm not American, so don't be trying to call me a commie bastard or whatever, but it's just the fact that I'm just not into buying all the America 250 stuff. That's all it really is. On to some more America 250 stuff now. Some of this may get me on this page. You never know. If you know me, you know. But we got the 3 BNSF units. Those are really cool paint schemes. I think MTH was the first to offer those, and obviously Lionel's got them now. And then you got the CPKC. Not a bad looking engine. But let's talk about the star of the show here. The Donald Trump. The 4547 UP ES44. Fantastic engine. And I find it really unique that this engine is in white. I think the flag on it's really cool. Obviously we saw this engine hooked up with, I think it was the Abraham Lincoln, and they pulled the Artemis 3 rocket booster parts out of that factory in, I think, Missouri or wherever it was at. But this is a stunning engine. Whether you like President Trump or not, if you can't take away this engine is beautiful. You can't do it. You can't say it's not beautiful. So I know there's a couple of people out there that I do know that are anti-Trump people, and they'll say, "Oh, I don't think it looks good at all." Yeah, neither did your Kamala Harris engine. All right, next we got the 250 lighted flag. That's kind of cool. Not something I'd buy, but I feel like that's a reasonable price. $45 on that. It's pretty decent. This caboose, though, I'm not real big on this caboose. It's a lot going on to me. They could have cleaned that up a little bit, but look at the price on that bad boy. $180. Oof, $180 for a bay window. Well then, all right. On to the next page. We'll just leave the bay windows alone until later. We got a bunch of the NS diesels here. Now, some of these are really cool, and obviously, you're going to recognize this one from being behind the Big Boy on its eastern trip over to Philadelphia from Wyoming. Really cool engine. I do like this one, but like I said, I'm gonna skip on these. So we do know that there's ESs in here. There's SD70 ACEs, and then we know that there's the SD40-2s. So let's see what else we can find in this catalog. Now these engines are these Aces. Aces are up to $850 for a powered Ace, and $499 for a non-power. That's more than the boys over at Third Rail. So something to think about. That being said, all 4 manufacturers, Atlas, Third Rail, Lionel, MTH, they're all doing SD70 Aces. So we're in the middle of a nice Ace battle right now. So, and we brought back the Big Boy, the American Freedom Train Big Boy. This is not for me, let alone the price. $28.99, and they're making an aux tender. We'll talk about the aux tenders for shortly, but this is some new tooling. Look at this. We got brand new 85-foot flat cars for the American Freedom Train. Not really my thing, but those are cool. Apparently they're 21.25 inches long. Good Lord, sir. And they have kinematic couplers. I'm definitely out on that activity. I am no fan of kinematic couplers, especially on freight cars or passenger cars. It's not my deal. I do not like them, so I'd be not interested. On to the next, we have this little Atlantic. So now we know there's Atlantics in here as well. And this is Lionel, if you watch this, man, this is terrible. I don't know who signed off on this as being a good idea. This is gaudy. I don't like it. It's too much. These little deals here will just melt to the side of the boiler, but then burn up and die. But yeah, I'm out. $999. And we got the Woodside passenger cars. Now we will talk some more about these. These Woodside passenger cars are nice. A little pricey, but they are nice. Then we move on over to the GP18. So now we know there's GP18s, and it looks like there's going to be some U30Cs. Obviously, this is a throwback to back in back to 1976. Cool paint scheme. We've seen this paint scheme before. Really nice. And these GP18s are all the GP18s are going to be low hoods in this catalog. It's unfortunate. I would love to have a high hood GP18 for a custom run project. These are Missouri Pacifics. Kind of not bad looking, but not for me. Those are priced at $675. Ooh, wee. Now look at these little bad boys. These little trailers are cool. A 2-pack of trailers for $109. Get all of the skull, Lionel. Good Lord. Now, another bay window caboose. Now, this one here presents a problem, an actual problem for me. This one's $180, just like the other one was. But I have a diesel. Well, let me correct that before somebody jumps in my comments and says, "It's your girlfriend's engine." Yes, my girlfriend has a Southern Pacific diesel that matches this paint scheme. Sorry, that is the same paint scheme as this. I don't know how well it's going to match, but may pick that up if I can. Especially, we got to work on that price. So that 180 is a little bit steep for a bay window. Hell, that's steep for a lot of things, but in the caboose world. But should be a good looking caboose. And the funny part about that is I ordered the cylindrical hopper that Atlas is doing with the same kind of paint scheme. So, you know, it might as well. All right. I don't know what this is. Somebody got carried away. I don't know what happened here. I don't think I like this, boys. I don't think I like this. This is a lot. So first off, we know there's S3s in this catalog now, and it's going to have the same features as the past S3s, except they've added some new stuff. You got the pop-off steam. I have the first run S3. I did not have whistle steam. I did have the cylinder steam. Great engine. Don't like this paint scheme on it. I think that's a bit of a stretch. $1,800. It's not terrible. I think it's $100 more than the last time they ran them. So a good dealer hook you up with a solid price. We can talk about dealers later if you'd like. But I do find it interesting. They whipped up 4 of these cars, and then you got the 2-pack, and look at the price on these 4 cars. $1,400 for 4 aluminum cars. And I bet you those cars are going to be 18 inches if I had to guess. Yeah, there's others. They're not even 18. Well, the Station Sounds car is 17 and a quarter. So whatever. Oh, yeah, here we go. Yeah, they're 18 inches. If I just paid attention to the page, 18-inch cars, you get 4 of them for $1,400. That's a bit steep. Now I know we got Lion Chief stuff. We're gonna skip because not interested. If you're interested, come back and check it out yourself. Now we got some pretty cool little 250 cars, Independence box cars. You know, if you take your time, come through, look at some of the artwork on these. They're pretty cool little cars. A little bit pricey. Lionel's a little proud. They're $115 for a semi-scale car, that's a bit out of control. I do like how they have the American flag on top of them. There you can see on the roof image. That's actually pretty cool. But I'm probably not going to buy any of these. I'm just not into paying $115 for a semi-scale car. Same here. You know, these are going to be, they got different people's names on them, but you get the Betsy Ross, Patrick Henry. I don't know. These are cool, but again, the price is steep for these cars. Now, these cars I think are super cool. I think these are really cool, the state box cars. I'm a fan of the artwork on these, like how they have the picture in the words. I think it's really cool. They're 109, and they're still going to be semi-scale. And as bad as I want to collect these stupid little cars, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. All right, on to the next page. We have Vision Big Boys. Now, obviously they announced the Big Boys earlier this year, and then we saw a absolutely insane run of different custom paint scheme or custom road names or whatever you want to call them, custom paint schemes, I guess we'll call them. And you know, I'm assuming that maybe Lionel did not get enough orders for the 4014, or maybe they're just trying to, you know, capture some of that magic from the Big Boy running to the East Coast. So they're in here again. They're $28.99. You got the Tour edition. Then you have the one with smoke lifters here. The Tour edition has white walls like the one that just ran across the country. white walls on a Big Boy should be outlawed. Should not be a thing. If you're wondering, these are going to be 072 minimums, and now you'll see people running them on smaller curves. Don't be that guy, man. Get you some big curves, run big engines, stop with the nonsense. But these water tenders are not, they're not the correct water tender. Now, these are like the water tenders behind like the verandas or whatever. And they're just, they're expensive. They're $549 if you want the electronics in them. If you want to know electronics, well, they're just a glorified boxcar. They're $399. I have Ox water tenders. I have 2 of them, one UP, one clinch. I don't run them. They sit on the shelf. I'm definitely not buying any more water tenders, especially ones that are not the correct ones. There are some correct ones available for order. We won't do that. This is a Lionel catalog review, so we will skip the other ones. So what do we have here? A UP bay window caboose at $189. I'm having a hard time with that bay window being $189. All right, here now, if you go on the internet, you'll see everybody wants to point out a typo because the top of the page says VisionLine GP4-2. It's a typo, people. Get over yourselves. It's not that important, man. Calm down with the nonsense. You know, there's so many people just want to bash on Lionel for anything they do wrong. It's kind of ridiculous at this point. So get over the typo. It's no big deal. We got more big boys. We got the 40-04. Then you got the hot dog. Then you have one that put the American flag. Oh, it's the Lionel line. So you get the American flag on the smoke lifters. Ox tenders offered for both of those. You get the Pilot. We'll skip past. The Pilot's $29.99. These are $29.99. The other ones were. Other ones are $28.99. Is it because these have cold tenders? I'm assuming. I don't know. Doesn't matter. I have enough big boys. I'm not worried about ordering a big boy. All right, guys. Here we have the return of the legendary model. The engine that should have been a VisionLine, but was not a VisionLine for whatever reason. The Milwaukee Road 261 S3. Like I said, I have the earlier version of this. Mine was made in 2011, I believe it was. Fantastic model. Like I said, I don't have whistle steam. I definitely don't have the pop-off steam, but I do have the cylinder steam. And man, what a great, great model. Now, since I've owned this engine, I have never had the passenger cars to go with this. So, you know, Lionel, in true Lionel fashion, they brought back passenger cars to go with this. You got the Station Sounds car, you got the 2-pack with the full Vista Dome. Then you have the, 4-pack of aluminum cars here, and like you got the Hiawatha with the really cool observation car. Now, like I said earlier, that price is a bit much. You know, you got $700 for a 2-pack, you got $14 for a 4-pack, and $650 for the Station Sounds. I'm just like, son, you guys are getting flat after it with those prices. Now, you got tariffs and everything that goes into that. I can't control any of that. Neither can any of us. Well, I mean, maybe somebody that watches this could control that. But, most of us can't have nothing to do with that. So it is what it is. But, they offered some other paint schemes here. You got the gray Hiawatha. Then you have the gray-black Hiawatha. And, since I have an S3, I would love to own one of these Hiawathas. The problem with this is that I discovered this morning after almost trying to talk myself into buying a Hiawatha or buying an S3 with a Hiawatha paint scheme is you can't do that. Dumbass, you got to buy cars to go with it. And then I already knew what the prices for the Lionel cars were going to be. High. So, yeah, probably not getting this. So maybe it doesn't have whistle steam. Maybe it's just safety valve and cylinder steam. I'd have to read the whole thing, but who can be bothered by that? So if you're wondering, this is the paint scheme that I would purchase. This gray and black Hiawatha. I think this thing looks super cool. This one ain't bad. Just the gray Hiawatha is not bad. But this one here that's the jam, man. That is where it's at. I think that one looks fantastic. Hopefully some of my friends buy it so I can at least see a video of it. But, can't buy them all. Now we have this one, and a buddy of mine referred to this as the diesel paint scheme, which I kind of see. I can kind of get that, now that he said it. A lot of my friends on Discord last night were kind of bagging on this paint scheme. I wasn't bagging so hard. I'm just kind of digging. I kind of like it, So really cool, really unique idea. I think I like it. Maybe we could have done without the red walls on there, but I don't know. I don't think it's bad. I like it. So, anyways, let's keep it moving here. We got more S3s. Fantastic. You have the 264 in matte black, which is what 261 should be, but they got to put gloss on shit. Now, I don't understand this. And then you got the 265 in gloss. And then you have the S2 inspired paint scheme. So, all right. That one's actually not bad looking. It's not terrible. Not terrible. Passable, I suppose. but these have the kinematic drawbars, which may be fine on these. You know, I mean, my S3 is already pretty close, but these are probably going to be a little bit closer. Kind of cool. Kind of cool that these are back. I know some people missed out on them. I kind of hinted to them on my one of my Instagram deals the other day that asked if people regret missing out on these or whatever. So some of you guys got that. If you did, congratulations. All right, we got a return of the Russian Decapods. I think last time they ran these, maybe 2017, 18, somewhere in there. I could be completely wrong and just whiffing on that. But it seems like that's the last time they ran them. It may have been earlier or since then, you know. But anyways, these retail for $1,300. They've put the swinging bell in them, and they have the whistle steam. I got some cool road names here: Nashville, Chattanooga, St. Louis, the Susquehanna, the Wild Mary, Missouri Pacific, DT&I, and of course they had to do the Santa Fe. The real cool thing about these I've noticed here is these little bad boys are running on some 031. That's pretty solid for all you guys that have the small curves. You can get a pretty cool engine. Now, these are not my favorite Decapods, you know. I like the Penske style Decapod, but that's cool. You can get a decent engine. These are only 19 inches long. They're not as big as I thought they were going to be. That's what she said. On to the E6 Atlantics. And I know people are shocked that these are being ran so soon again, but as you see on the page, it says redesigned with this and has swinging bell. And from what I gather, I'm pretty sure this is the engine they were talking about. They moved the electronics package from the engine to the tender, which allowed them to put the whistle steam in, I think is what I was reading today. So you got the Penske's, then you got the Strasburgs, then you have some more Strasburg Woodside passenger cars here, and I know some guys, friends of mine, are gonna have to get these for sure. It says these are new tooling, which I'll be damned. Got new tooling on the Woodsides. I did not know that. Kind of cool. I like how they have like the green lights up here. Really cool. Nice cars. And then we're on to the Penske with the yellow Kid Wood passenger cars. I don't know what the yellow Kid Wood car passenger is, but it's not bad looking cars. The cars are going to be a bit pricey, in my opinion. They're $500 for a 2-pack and then $450 for the station sounds. That's a bit high to me. But the Great Northern, I'm not a fan. We all know this green's going to come out wrong. Don't kid yourself. If you're a Great Northern fan, I would suggest waiting to pre-order this one. I wouldn't just pre-order it. I'd wait to see it in person. Just my opinion. Then you got the Rock Island, Chicago Northwestern, the New York Central. I do like these New York Central cars, especially this white one. That white car looks pretty cool. Not bad. Not bad. Then we have the Union Pacific. Now these cars are cool. I may be a little biased because I like the UP, but these engines are retailing for $999, which is not terrible in today's market, I suppose. You know, I remember a point in time where you'd think you'd be going to go crazy paying $1,000 retail for an Atlantic, but here we are. There they are. They're $1,000 retail. So, I mean, it is cool they've added the swinging bell and the whistle steam. That's pretty cool. Can't really complain too much about that, but don't you worry, somebody will. All right, on to the Dissels. We got CSX Heritage units, and Alice, if you happen to watch this, can you make the B&O CSX Heritage? I appreciate it. So you got the Georgia, the L&N, the Monon, the Pierre Marquette, and then the Seaboard. Now, I have friends that are going to be completely bamboozled by the Georgia, the L&N, and the Seaboard. So good for you guys. You can get a powered and a non-powered on all of these. And these are up to $849 retail. That's starting to climb the ladder a little bit. Starting to climb, but what are we going to do? Are we going to stop buying trains? Don't kid yourself, boys. We're going to keep buying these damn things. And, you know, I got another friend that's completely ruined on this page. Like, he is in deep shit off of this page. You got all of the Norfolk Southern landmark units. So you have the ES44s as well as the SD40-2 and that new NS paint scheme. And then you got the caboose. You could probably do without. But I actually have 2 of these on order from Third Rail. And thinking about, you know, canceling that order because I'm kind of over this paint scheme now and just switching that order to UPs. But we'll see how that goes. But these if Lionel gets these colors right, which I'm really shocked that the colors in each rendering aren't the same. That should leave me feeling a little bit worried about that order. But anyways, I'm sure the engine itself will be nice. The color may be wrong, but I assure you it'll run well. On to the SD70 Aces, my favorite modern diesel produced. As of today, it's my favorite. It's been my favorite for a while, but you got the Delaware and Hudson paint scheme. Has potential to be phenomenal if it's done right. You got a power and a non-power of that, and then you have BNSF. BNSF, you have a power. Sorry, you have 2 power units in those. Then we have the UP EAP loco, and then you have 2 regular UPs. So you could technically buy 3 powered UP aces out of this catalog, and then you got the QNSL, is that Quebec Northern Shore or so? I don't know, something like that. Quebec Northern something. And then you got the KCS de Mexico. Pretty cool. Pretty cool engine. I like it. I like how they did the. It's the de Mexico, but the 200s and the American flag. It's a lot there. I don't know what's going on there. Oh man, it's good times. All right, on to the BNSF set here. This set I think could end up being a really good value in this catalog. With that being said, I'm not sure that I'm going to order it, but at any rate, so this is going to retail for $21.99, right? Then on top of that, you're getting 2 powered BNSF SD70 aces. These are the natural gas ones. Natural gas dual fuel, it says. That's pretty cool. So I don't recall a set coming with 2 powered aces, or 2 powered any engines, let alone aces. And then you get 6 freight cars. It looks like 6 freight cars in the picture there. Really cool set. I like how they're offering the 2 diesels. Not a bad price in my opinion. Yeah, not bad. I like this set. I don't know that I'm going to order, and you're going to get 1 car with graffiti. I don't know how you feel about those are beer cars. I don't know how you're going to feel about that, but it's not bad. So this, then we're on to the U30Cs. Now I'm not a fan of these, man. We're not going to spend much time here. The Burlington Northern's not bad looking. These CSX jobs, they're not terrible. I do like the Sioux line, but not on this engine. I like the paint scheme of the Sioux line. I couldn't tell you anything about it, but on this engine, it's a terrible paint scheme. It's not enough red. Red should have came behind the window, in my opinion. But these are going to retail for $750. And then we get to the next set, the Detroit Edison Coltrane. Now this set is going to retail for $13.99. You get all these rotary dump cars. You get 8 rotary dump cars with the set, and then you can also get a 4-car pack for another $360. These cars will run an 031. Pretty sure these engines will run 031. Yeah, so this is an 031 set. Not bad. You can get a second diesel if you would like. Another $750. I don't know why they didn't offer this with 2 diesels. And maybe it's because these cars are more money. I'm not real sure. But has a working end of train device. That's kind of cool. I'm just not a Detroit Edison dude. Again, couldn't tell you where that's at. I mean, obviously Detroit, Michigan, but I don't know anything about that railroad. Now, some of my favorite diesels, the SD40-2. Really cool to see these back in here. The price tag on these is not so cool, $750. These are an 054 engine. I thought the last time my SD40-2, I have to see what the box says, but I thought it said 042. I don't know if they changed something or what they did here. But really cool. And these have got a kinematic pilot too. So maybe I'm not ordering any of these. But Santa Fe's that's a great Santa Fe paint scheme. One of my favorites. I like it. I was tempted to think about maybe ordering some Conrail SD40-2s. And then the other one I really like on this page is the MKT. And if I could get this thing to come out looking like this render, I would be down. That is a cool looking deal, right? I've always kind of liked this paint scheme. I don't have any of them, and it has like the little light on top. That's pretty cool. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to order any of these SD40-2s. I know there's some other catalogs from other manufacturers coming out soon, and they may put me in trouble, So, all right, here we got the GP18s. Like I said earlier, these are all low hoods, no high hoods, which is unfortunate because I'd love to have a custom run done of a high hood GP18. But the winner on this page, you got LNN, Norfolk Southern, Susquehanna, Illinois Central, East Penn. But the winner on this page, the best looking one, is the Boston and Maine. The black cab with the black nose on it and the black tail back here. Man, that thing is sick, dude. That is awesome. I like that paint scheme a lot. Really, really impressed by that. I got a buddy of mine probably going to be in trouble, and I'm a fan of it. I'm here for it. So, John, spend your money, bud. On the next page, now this page here could get tricky. I don't know what's got into me here as of late. I've had this idea I need more and more of these little switchers for no earthly reason why. I have no clue why I want switchers, but these are S4s. They have fixed pilots. That's a really cool deal about these. These have fixed pilots. Their minimum curve, even with fixed pilots, is going to be 031. That's pretty sick. And these are single motors. They have the drive shaft, kind of like the NW2s that I did a video on an eternity ago. But the Boston and Maine, like let's all appreciate the Boston and Maine. You got the Minuteman on the front here. Then you got the like these, I don't know, you got this cool little red deal here. These little red stripes. Really good look to this engine. I'm assuming these trucks are gonna come out super bright. I mean, I feel like if you just darken them up a little bit, you'd have a mean looking unit. Like this. These retail for $649. And then we have the C&O, the Milwaukee Road. You know, sometimes that orange and black work, sometimes it don't. It's not working here. And then New York Central, the mighty UP, but the best one on this page is this. This seatboard is nasty. Look at this paint scheme, boys. This is fantastic. I love this paint scheme. I'm going to order one of these, and I hope like hell it looks like this picture. Do I think it's going to look just like this picture? Unfortunately, no. But it doesn't change the fact that I'm going to be hopeful that it looks like this picture, because I think that thing is sick, dude. I don't know. As soon as I saw the picture of it, I was like, oh, that's awesome. So we're going to order one of these deals with these Seaboard S4s. That's going to get ordered. That may be my only order, but that's getting ordered. All right, now we're on to freight cars. We're on to milk cars. These are $150 for a milk car. Holy shit. That is not... That, man, that's wrong. Do they do anything special? They have die-cast trucks, operating couplers, easy conversion to scale couplers. They have opening doors, a removable roof with an interior milk tank load. For $150? Man, y'all kiss my ass. I'm not paying $150 for a milk car. Nope. For all of you guys that are paying $150 for milk cars, congratulations. Feel free to send me one for my birthday. I'm not doing it. That is crazy. Crazy talk. All right, now we're on to the beer cars. Now, we saw some of these in that BNSF set, which was cool. But you got the Santa Fe's, the UP, the Burlington Northern, and the Cotton Belt. Now, these are going to be $130. And then the king of beers, the Anheuser-Busch Budweiser car. Lionel, look, man, look. Why can't we get a Busch Light car? I'm just asking, you know. I'm just asking. Is Budweiser 150 years old? Is it their 150th anniversary? Good for them if they are. These are 14-inch cars on U30C. Now, I'm not paying $140. Nope, not for those. Now, let's talk about bay window cabooses. You got the Burlington Northern, the New York Central, the Erie bay window, the Rock Island. Now, this one here, you know, this goes back to when I was running, you know, conventional trains on a post-war layout. I think in the MPC era or something, they made this caboose. It may not have been MPC, it may have been a different era, but I remember seeing this paint scheme, because I always thought the little lightning bolts were cool. But that's a cool deal. 180 is a bit steep. I'm already going to buy the SP one for whatever the pre-order on that is. All right, next page here. We got some hopper deals here. What are these? Are they call them quick discharge? Is that what they call these cars? Some different kind of road names here that I'm not familiar with. The Milwaukee Road, not a bad looking car. N&W is not terrible, but these aren't really for me. These cars are retailing for $89.99. Pretty sure these are ex-Weaver tooling, since they're only $90, but not positive. Now we have 50-foot tank cars, which I don't know how many gallons that is, but I'm assuming it's way more than 11,000. But you know, if you've watched my channel, you know that I'm about some hookers, and I like the Hooker chemical car. That's a really cool car. $109 for that tank car. Or you can get the 3-pack for $329. I don't know about all that, boys. You got the Procors. That's not a bad looking car. The ADM, that's kind of cool. ADM corn sweeteners. I don't know about, you know, 109 for a tank car. I may just stick to my old 11,000 gallon Atlas cars and pick them up at train shows. But 50-foot box cars, I'm quite positive these are gonna be Weaver tooling, ex-Weaver tooling. The Appalachia Cola and Northern, that's a different road name. And you got some Ma and Pa, the Maryland and Pennsylvania. None of these for me. Pass on these. You got insulated box cars here. This CP rail is pretty cool. The Mandarin Orange Express. That's kind of a cool car. I'm just scared to buy it because what if it's not that nice? You know what I mean? So we'll see. I'll have to make up my mind on some of these cars. But then we have Woodside reefers. Now, you guys all know I am a giant fan of the Atlas Woodside reefer. Curious to see how these stack up since the price is trying to stack up to an Atlas car. Really curious to see how these turn out. Then we have some rotary dump gondolas, as some people say. I say gondola, but Yeah, these definitely are not for me. Somerset, CSX, Burlington, Reading Northern, NS. Yeah, they're all not for me. They're 199 for the 199 for a 2-pack, 359 for a 4-pack. That's a bit rough. Now we just got some random stuff here. There's some random pieces thrown in. We have the Royal Blue Royal Blue Station Sounds liner. You got the New York Central Station Sounds and the Pincy. And I don't even know what the hell the Trippy train is. Is that a real thing? I have no clue. I'm sure people will buy it, but I don't think I'm buying a Trippy train. And then you got so these CN cars down here, they're pretty cool looking CN cars. And I'm sure my friend Dashing Dan's like, they're not right. I'm like, I didn't say they were, Dan. I don't know if they are, but I kind of like the looks of them. They're not bad looking cars. And that'll do it for the portion of the real engines in the catalog. After this, it gets to the Lion Chief and all the accessories, so you guys can go check that out yourself. But overall, boys, like, I'm going to tell you the truth. I think this is a great catalog. Is it packed with all the big steam that you may or may not have been looking for? No, it's not. Is it packed with a pile of really good diesels? Absolutely. This is being the first catalog since Lionel has gotten bought out. And, a lot of people were worried about what Lionel was going to do, what they were going to offer in the future, and how they're going to do this or that, the other thing. And they kicked this catalog out, and I think it's a really good catalog. I know some people aren't going to agree with me. Some people are just going to want to bitch about the prices going up. Okay, cool. So aren't the prices of everything else. It's not just trains, So, the prices are going to be what the prices are going to be. Like it is the way it is, and but I think the offerings in this catalog, I really feel like Lionel did a really good job of spreading it out. I know some people wanted the Abraham Lincoln and the 1776 UP. There was a SD40M or whatever the hell the other one was. That way they could create this big long, big boy Union Pacific excursion train. But like they did the Aces, they did the ES44s. Like I can get why they didn't do the M's. That's a terrible looking engine, in my opinion. But with that being said, like I get it, right? And everybody wants something, but everybody can't have everything. So Lionel, I think you did a great job. Really curious to see how your delivery times are going to be with having new ownership, to see if you guys are going to get closer to being back like on schedule all the time, or what that means. And then like obviously there's been some other changes at Lionel. So there's still a lot of answers to be. There's still a lot of questions to be answered coming out of Charlotte. But overall, I think they did a great job on this catalog. And I'm really looking forward to the next one. With the 200th anniversary of the B&O coming up, it'd be a great time to get the M1s back in the catalog, boys. I'm just putting that out there. If I speak it into the universe, it may happen. But for all of you guys that hung out to the end of this, I do appreciate all you guys for watching. If you guys are looking for a new dealer to support, and you're looking for like the small up-and-coming guy, you're looking for a great dude who's going to help you out and take care of you, head on over to BerkshireStation.com. Landon's been in business at that shop for 3 years. He's on the come up, boys. He's a friend of mine. He's a friend of my channels. And if you're shopping on his website, make sure you use code Joker. It saves you $15 on every order over 100. You can use that code as many times as you want, and you can help support me that way. I appreciate all you boys for hanging out with this crusty catalog review. And really excited to see what I know. I'm going to order the Seaboard that we're looking at right here. And other than that, we'll see where it goes. But until next time, y'all know the deal. I'm going to holler at you. See ya.